Greetings, this is J.R. Dickey. Thanks for tuning in to our podcast. And by the way, don't forget our website, graceandtruth.net. I hope you're having a great day, but if not, hang with me. It's about to get better. Okay, I call this devotion, My Brothers. John chapter 20, Jesus, after the resurrection, says, "Go to my brethren and say to them, I am descending to my Father and your Father, and to my God and your God." That's actually John 20, verse 17. You know, I must have read this scripture 1,000 times, literally. And then a couple of days ago, wham! It struck me as shocking that the risen Lord, the Lord of lords, the King of kings, Lord of all, having conquered death and hell, and condemned the devil to destruction, having completed his divine mission, he calls the very ones who deserted him in the garden, he calls them my brothers. I mean, he could have said those rats, or those yellow bellies, or those self-centered, prideful deserters. You get my drift. But the risen Godson called them my brothers. Now, why would he have reason to diss them? Like I said, in the darkness of the garden, Judas led the religious soldiers to his place of prayer. Matthew 26 records, "In that hour Jesus said to the multitudes," these are the soldiers, "Have you come out as against a robber, with swords and clubs to take me? I sat daily with you, teaching in the temple, and you did not seize me. But all this was done, that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled." Then all the disciples forsook him and fled. Now, we really can't get too critical of the disciples. We all would have done the same thing. But what is spectacular, wonderfully amazing, and oh, so telling, is the crystal clear attitude of Jesus. You see, he had called them brothers before. Matthew 12 records it. It says, they said, "Who is my mother and who are my brothers?" he said. And he stretched out his hand toward his disciples and said, "Here are my mothers and my brothers. For whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother." But the boys had deserted him. Peter had vehemently denied him, and they had all lost it. Their hopes, their faith, their courage. Only Jesus was true. Only Jesus took on the sins of all mankind, took on the hosts of hell, took the forsaking of his own Father, took the abuse and cruelest death. There were no heroes there except the one who rose from the dead. And this one called the ones who were always preoccupied with who would be greatest in the Lord's kingdom. He called them my brothers. God's love, Christ's love, his Spirit's love doesn't change. He doesn't change. Malachi 3 says, "For I am the Lord, I do not change. Therefore you are not consumed, O sons of Jacob." Of course, we all know that man's love is conditional. It's conditional upon many things. The response to our love, how we feel, external circumstances, the competition, etc. Like dear Peter, it's natural for us to shy away from him when we are painfully aware that we aren't worthy of his love. But we are family. He has made us family. Consider Joseph, the son of Jacob, and how he treated his brothers when he was the prime minister of Egypt. They had pondered killing him, sold him into slavery, and lied about it to their father. Then some 12 or 13 years later, they came to Egypt begging for food. And how did Joseph, an Old Testament picture of Christ, treat them? With completely unexpected kindness and goodness. Why? They didn't even recognize him. Family, they were family. When you are born again, you are Christ's family as well. Not because you're worthy, not because you pray a lot or attend church faithfully or do numerous good deeds. You are family because of His blood, His love, His life. And the time will come when that is going to mean more to you than you could have ever imagined. Now, may the Lord grant you peace in the midst of any storm and faith to trust Him. Look for our next podcast, and may you realize more of His grace today.